This is just a bigger view to show you the different elements. So looking at the header in a little bit more detail. So like I was saying, there's the event logo, the event name, and the event menu. So all of these are configurable in the venue editor. And this is another example of a header. So this is a different header with the hamburger menu in a 3D venue. Then we have the live bar. So it's our native engagement, attendee engagement widget. Usually it's stuck to the right of the live page, but it can also be on the left. And these are the features of the live bar. So you have the attendee profile, notifications, chat, participants, personal agenda, bookmarks, direct messages, and polls. This shows you the anatomy of the live bar. So you have the live bar itself on the right, and then you have what we call the live bar panel on the left. So which is collapsible. And there's two ways in which it can be collapsed. So one way is by pushing the content, like here. It's pushing the content of the live page. And the other way is by overlapping on top of the content, like in this one here. So in terms of the live bar features, just to go into a little bit more detail here. So number one, we have the attendee profile. So that's where the attendee can see their details and where they can also access the sign out button. So signing out means signing out of the whole virtual event. Then you have the notification center, which is the central place where all the notifications which would have been sent to the attendee will be consolidated there. So there, essentially, they can access the whole history of all notifications sent to them. You also have the chat, pretty common nowadays, where so you can think of this as the public group chat of everybody on the same live page. Then you have the participants, which shows you the list of people currently on that particular live page. So these will be the people who will be able to chat. Then you have the personal agenda. So this shows the agenda of the attendee in a calendar schedule kind of format, like here. And the items that go on the attendee's personal agenda are either sessions that they would have bookmarked or any meetings that they would have scheduled with other attendees or with exhibitors. So both of these will be coming onto their personal agenda. So bookmarks here will show you all the items that the attendee has bookmarked. And in terms of items that can be bookmarked, these are the followings. So number one, an attendee can bookmark another attendee. They can bookmark sponsors, or what we also call exhibitors. They can also bookmark sessions. And then they can bookmark any other content, so resources, which are like things like PDF, an image, or links that you have created and that you have put in blocks. So the attendees will be able to bookmark these and then access them through the bookmark feature here. Next is direct messages. So these are one-to-one private messages that attendees send to each other or to exhibitors. And lastly, we have polls. So polls is Again, the poll in the live bar will be like a repository of all the polls that would have been sent to the attendee. But the polls themselves, they will be appearing in a pop-up notification kind of style. So when it's sent, it will be popping up on the attendee side. So the poll feature in the live bar is really a place for them to go back and see the history of polls that they have responded, or see the results of the polls. So that's the idea here. Okay, next one is blocks. So the blocks are, we like to call them the building blocks of your live pages. So everything that I was showing you earlier can actually be blocks on a live page. And there's many types of blocks depending on the content that you want to display. So for example, here, this is just an image block. This is just a text block. This one is a special type of block that we call a hero content block. And of course, you have your live stream, your agenda, and your resources blocks, right? These are just some examples to show you. And that's the full list of blocks that we currently have in Give Me Virtual. And the rough categories here are in terms of content, where you can have rich text block or images and PDF and resources. So these are the content blocks. But you can also have your event content itself, like your speakers and your agenda that you would be creating in the backend of Give Me Virtual, and then that you will be able to display through the blocks on a live page. So you have these. Then of course you have your live streaming, meeting, sponsors, hero content, and HTML and the link blocks. Live page template. So this is a little bit technical, but I think it's also useful to understand. It's actually, you can look at it as the blueprint from which a live page is created. So every live page that you create on in Give Me Virtual is actually being created from a live page, from a template, sorry. So every time you create a live page, you have to choose a template that you want to use. And then from there, you will be able to carry on, right? So showing you some examples of live page templates here. So we have the Genesis venue, like I was mentioning earlier, and these are the templates that the Genesis venue comes with. And just like I was mentioning previously, the templates also themselves, they don't have any meaning, right? They are just a structural kind of component, right? So we have a blank template, we have a horizontal banner and a vertical banner, and they just define the layout, right? Similarly, for a 3D venue, like the bunker venue here, these are the templates. And again, they just define the look and feel, and they just define that, okay, there's panel 1 here, panel 2 here, panel 3 here, etc. Right? So what would be this panel? It can be up to you. It can be anything. So it's pretty much neutral, right? And again, just to come back to that previous analogy, it's only with the experience then that the whole thing starts to have meaning. And that's when attendees will be able to experience your whole event, right? So, yep. And then next we'll be having the venue editor. So this is what we'll be going through pretty much into more detail in the next part. So the venue editor is the DIY visual editor through which you can actually customize your venue. So this is where you will be able to customize the header, customize the live bar, the blocks and their content, and all the various settings of the blocks. So this is a screenshot of how the UI looks like. And so that's the venue editor.